So, welcome everybody. Today had a very nice experience. Parallel classes in 11 languages was announced to them. So, more than 1,000 people parallelly attended the class on Nasimajay. So, similarly, every day in all the languages, Bhagavatam class are happening. Now, I am taking the class in, yes, I'm taking the class in English now. I know many people will prefer to hear in Hindi or Kannada or Telugu or Tamil or Malayalam. Every language, daily Bhagavatam class are happening around the same time. Some people maybe 7 o'clock because they have to go to office. So this is the temple time is 8 o'clock morning. The class will be in English. Okay, but suppose you find more convenient to hear in Kannada, in Telugu, in Tamil, or Malayalam, in Gujarati, Marathi. Now I lose track. How many languages are there. My voice is less, so a little more. Hare Krishna, now it is better. Now it's nice, okay. Okay, fine. Let me see the sign. Okay, yes, it's great. Okay, chalo, much better. It's enough, I think. Okay. Okay, now I'm keeping this. You see that here, this one at the bottom, minimum. Kirtan time, it's at 0 only. So when your input should be minimum, so then the quality of voice will be better. So today is a unique day. Yesterday, I hope all of you enjoyed Narasimha Jayanti festival. And I hope the next year, Narasimha Jayanti is in the new temple with the 32 guest rooms open. So thousands of them people can stay. All of you can come stay for every festival. And the hall can accommodate around, I think standing 1,000 people can stand there. Sitting is 500. It's 5,000 square feet. So you can make your calculations. Generally standing is, I think, 5 square feet, one person can stand. 2 feet by 2 feet. One person can stand. So 1,000 really crowded, but that's all limited what we could do. It's a small place. 1.5 acre now is looking very small. So 500 people can at a time enjoy and chant and dance the holy name of the Lord daily, full day. Okay, so what facility we are developing, so you all can come and stay and enjoy all the festivals in the temple, new temple. I hope from next year. We have to vigorously, quickly finish the construction. I think only little more supervision is needed so that it finishes fast. Okay. So today is a very unique day. Today is the appearance day of Madhavendra Puri. Now just give you a brief before I read about it. Madhavendra Puri is in a parampara. Srila Prabhupada Guru is Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada Guru is God Kushwadas Babaji Maharaj, whose Guru is Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj, whose Guru is Jagannath Bhavdas Babaji Maharaj. Okay, so if you keep going like this, we come to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Guru is Ishwar Puri, and whose Guru is Madhavendra Puri. Now, in a line coming from Madhvacharya, Madhavendra Puri is very unique that he brought the joy of devotion service, the total love of Godhead in the Madhurya Bhava in this parampara. Okay, this is a uniqueness of Madhavendra Puri. In fact, the love of Krishna, which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested in Vipralamba Bhava, a separation of Radharani from Krishna, was actually brought out by Madhavendra Puri already in this world. Okay. So he's a root of this ecstatic chanting, dancing that we see in ISKCON. You all know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the root, but actually Krishna makes his devotees more special than himself. Okay. Now we will read little about Madhavendra Puri, and Madhavendra Puri's life is very vast. And we hear so many amazing pastimes of Madhavendra Puri. from the mouth of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas and he has quite young age. He was only 24-year-old at that time. He is now walking towards Jagannath Puri on the instruction of his mother. If you heard the morning class by Sunday morning class, I request not to miss that class, and I'm personally disappointed. There are only 250 people in it. I just don't understand this. 7 lakh people we have taught, and what are they doing? And this is such a beautiful class. Please don't miss Sunday morning. If you can attend other day morning, 8 o'clock, definitely Sunday morning, you keep aside other works and hear live. Okay? I feel little discouraged. I don't know, the Bhakti Vrikshas are doing nothing or what's happening. They're supposed to be having in Bhakti Vrikshas itself some 3,000-4,000 people. So why only 200 people come on Sunday morning? I don't understand. Anyway, so take advantage. So Madhavendra Puri, okay. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now walking towards Jagannath Puri on the instruction of his mother. Mother said that don't do what your elder brother did to me. He left and never appeared again. Don't do this, she requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you go somewhere nearby, so at least I can get some news about it. And nothing wrong for my mother Sachi, that she's not just speaking like a mother, as we may all think. She is a pure devotee of Krishna. So for pure devotee of Krishna, affection to Krishna is not Maya. Mother Yashoda's affection to Krishna is not Maya. Right? Understand? No? It's not Maya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, on the order of his mother, said, okay, I will not go to Vrindavan. I'll go to Jagannath. And he was going. So on the way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is a temple, and here the narration of pastimes of Madhavendra Puri occurs. So we will come to that situation now, and that's why I stopped the Kirtan, because it's a long narration. I want one person who can read very well. Who wants to do that? Raise your hand. You read very well. Okay, Neeraja, then. Okay, we will give 2-3 people chance. You keep your hand up. This comes in Madhya Leela, chapter 4. Yes. Oh, I have to give you a chance. Neeraja. Start.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Start.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Mahadeva.
Madhavendra.
Prabhuji, 1 second, I'll just switch on to one more device, Prabhuji. 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. I'll read till that time. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Madhavendra Puri, who was given a pot of sweet rice stolen by Sri Gopinatha, celebrated therefore as Sri Rachura. Being pleased at Madhavendra Puri's love, Sri Gopala, the deity at Govardhana, appeared to the public vision. Now, this is the summary of the whole chapter. Let us continue. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Advaita Prabhu, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. So Lord went to Jagannath Puri and visited Lord Jagannatha's temple. He also met Sarava Bhattacharya. All these pastimes have been very elaborately explained by Vrindavan Das Thakur in his book Chaitanya Bhagavata. By nature, all the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and see. When they described by Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become shower of nectar. You just note this. In spiritual life, there is no envy. Spiritual life, there is only respect. That's how one devotee should deal with another devotee. Not to demonize another devotee, not to put down another devotee. No. Yeah, dasa dasa no dasa. You see that? How is it dealing? Now he is writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. Already Chaitanya's pastimes written in Chaitanya Bhagavata. But in Chaitanya Bhagavata, the main focus became Lord Chaitanya's early pastime, first 24 years. And the later pastimes are very briefly described. Therefore, he devotees requested Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to write again the pastime so that the other portion, Madhya Leela and Anta Leela, can be elaborately described. And that is what this book was meant to be. Okay, so yes, you are ready? Therefore, I very humbly submit that since this incident has already been nicely described with now Thakur, I would be very proud to repeat the same thing, and this would not be very good. I do not have such powers. He is very special devotee, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. They're all Vrindavan Das Thakur, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. They are eternal assets of the Lord. But they look at their behavior, how with respect and care they're dealing with each other. And therefore presenting only a synopsis of those events already described by Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Mangala, now also known as Chaitanya Bhagavata. This is another incident now. Because one more devotee wrote the book, so he changed the name so that it does not to hurt on the devotee. So that became, became known as Chaitanya Bhagavata later. All the incidents, some of the incidents he did not describe elaborately, but only summarize. And these I shall try to describe in this book. Yes, you're ready? I thus offer respectful obeisance and lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur. I hope that I will not offend his lotus feet by this action. Please note this. We need to learn to how to live with devotees. I have seen many devotees, extremely capable, very intelligent, everything wonderful, but they lose association of devotees because they do not know how to behave with devotees. Correct? It happens. Very capable. But staying with devotees, we have to learn, know to be Dasa, Madasa, not in story, but also in practice. Sri Chaitanya proceeded toward Jagannath Puri with 4 of his devotees, and he chanted the holy name of the Lord and Hare Krishna mantra with great eagerness. Each day, Sri Chaitanya personally went to a village and collected a great quantity of rice and other grains for the preparation of prasadam. So, you are on me. Okay? Lord Chaitanya, I told you, going towards Jagannath Puri and with the 4 of his devotees. And one of the devotees is Nityananda Prabhu in that. There are many rivers on the way. At each and every river, there was a tax collector. The tax collector did not hand to the Lord, or he showed them special mercy. Finally, he reached the village of Remuna. This is still Indian culture. 500 years ago, a sadhu can walk anywhere. There is no tax for him, and he has no permission to be taken. Sadhu Vesha was not misused like it is today. Today, Sadhu Vesha has no respect remaining. Here, Sadhu Vesha and do anything. Understand English? So now, if suppose some Sadhu comes to your house, you will not open the door because they misuse it. Suppose it was not misuse and only genuine people have, you'll open the door. But today it is misuse. The different 500 years ago, it's not like that. Chaitanya is walking and no tax collector is touching him. Like I go to the airport and I ask them, why you are checking me? You doubt me also. He says, yes. That's the situation. So dress has lost its value. But previously it was nobody will check the dress. They will check. So 500 years ago, suppose airport was there, they will not check because it was respected. They will not misuse. In any way, he has no pockets. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is having a small dhoti and a chadar. So there is no pocket to check also. The deity of Gopinatha in the temple of Ravana was very attractive. Lord Chaitanya visited the temple, offered obeisance with great devotion. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered obeisance and lotus feet to Gopinath deity, the helmet of flowers on the head of the Gopinatha fell down and landed on the head of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they have reached Remuna. An interesting thing is just like Udupi, the deity turned. Now something the deity will do. Actually, when a deity shows such amazing pastime, it is nice that deity's name is also changed. We see one deity is called Sakshi Gopal, one deity is called Shri Chor Gopinath. The Gopinath remained, but the pastime should not be forgotten. It's an amazing pastime. The deity has turned 180 degrees, and you don't want to change the name of the deity. It should be. And the deity is happy for that. Correct? Generally, deities can do anything. They can walk, they can dance, they can talk. The deity is actually alive, fully alive. Otherwise, it's waste of time what people do, isn't it? If deity is not alive, what is the waste of time? You're going to spend some time with the stone. So many stones are lying around. Anna, why do you go there? Actually, deity is fully alive. The Lord is standing there. The deity is called Archa Avatar. Naam is called Naam Avatar. Scripture is called Granth Avatar. You should never take it less. If you just like we have Radha Krishna deities, the way you take darshan is that the Lord has come from spiritual world and he's standing there. Avatar. You understand? So the deity generally gives a small signal. It will not, oh, how are you? Fine. Welcome to my temple. It will not do that. It may do, very extraordinary situation it has done like that, but will not do like that. Small indication. In Mangalore also the people have it. The businessmen, when they want to take a decision, they offer a garland to, I don't know which temple it is, Katil or somewhere, and they just sit down there. They sit down. He has to take a major decision to buy this land or not. You've seen that? They do that in Bangalore. And after they offer a big hara to the deity, they keep waiting because hara will fall after some time. They right side or left side. If for right side there is one decision, if the left side that is, and they all follow that. They have full faith in the deity. They keep to please tell me, should I do or not? Should I do or not? Should I do or not? And now, you don't know. You are from Mangalore. I heard from city. So anyway, we should not make deity to take decisions for us. But here is Gopinatha deity, small signal. Small signal. The flowers from the Gopinatha fell down and he's paying obeisances. The flowers fell on his head. When the deity's helmet fell on his head, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very pleased. Small indication. That's all the deity gives. Not that, hello, how are you? Fine, welcome to my temple. Small signal. You enter the temple, tuck, one flower fell. Small signal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was pleased. And he chanted and danced in various ways with his devotees. And all the servants of the deity were struck with wonder to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intense love. We don't even know what is this. We have devotion. But devotion can be in different intensity. Just like they can be small agarbatti fire and they can be forest fire. Both are fires, but there is a difference. A small bird can jump from one branch to another. Another bird can fly miles in the sky. So everything has quantity also different. So we are devotees, but we do not know what is devotion of great devotees. That is why we associate it. Because of the love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the deity are struck with one of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intense love and exquisite beauty and his transcendental qualities. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's form is exactly Krishna's form. Only color is different. Radharani's color. Gauranga. Because of the love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they served him in many ways. In the night, they stayed at the temple of Gopinath. The Lord remained there because he was very eager to receive the revenant sweet rice offered to the Gopinath deity. So we should have nice facilities, people to stay. Nice rooms and then big dormitory. That's what we have designed. Received sweet rice offered to Gopinath, having heard a narration from his spiritual master Ishad Puri of what had once happened there. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to tell this story. The deity was known widely as Shira Chor Gopinath. The deity's name was changed. The deity was known as Shira Chor Gopinath. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his devotee the story of how the deity became so famous. Formerly, the deity had stolen a pot of sweet rice from Madhavendra Puri, and therefore he became very famous as the Lord who stole the sweet rice. Once Sri Madhavendra Puri traveled to Vrindavan, where he came upon a hill known as Govardhana. Madhavendra Puri was, so it's going, the story is starting from Gopal deity, will come to this deity. Madhavendra Puri was mad in ecstasy love of God, and he did not know whether it was day or night. Similar behavior Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also showed when he went to Vrindavan. We also went to Vrindavan. We just came back. Anna, he came and he saw and he conquered nothing. We could not conquer Krishna's heart. When you go to Vrindavan, you conquer Krishna's heart by your sincere devotion. So going to Vrindavan purposes is not by buying a railway ticket. Going to Vrindavan is in the consciousness. Just like darshan of the deity. the different experience depending on the consciousness, isn't it? So similarly, Vrindavan is also fully alive. It's not different still from Krishna's Dham, but we cannot see that. Sometimes so ecstasy, love of God, I don't know whether it was day or night. It happened like that. Sometimes it stood up and sometimes it fell to the ground. He could not discriminate whether he was in a proper place or not. Actually, we should do more kirtan, like in Mayapur we have. Do more kirtan. Then we forget it is day or night. Because Kali Yuga, holy name is the only savior. If you do have more kirtan, then we will forget it is day or night. We will just be dancing, rolling on the ground, chanting. After circumambulating the hill, Madhavendra Puri went to Govindakunda and took his bath. He then sat beneath the tree and take his evening rest. So Govindakunda is still there. Those who went to the parikrama of the Govardhan temple, you saw that. While you're sitting beneath the tree, an unknown coward boy came there with a pot of milk. And he's Krishna. Placed it before Madhavendra Puri and smilingly addressed him as follows. Did Krishna receive you? Many people say that. I went to Vrindavan. I was looking for a place. A small boy came. Place is there. And he disappeared. All saying as if Krishna came to talk to them. Krishna is there. You cannot see. But Krishna's pastimes are still going in Vrindavan. But it is aprakata. It is invisible. But sometimes Krishna becomes prakata to advanced devotees. So let us not make it cheap like many people do. It is very special. Devotees get this darshan. So this unknown boy, I placed in Madhavendra Puri, smilingly addressed him follow. Oh Madhavendra Puri, see, he knows his name already. Please drink the milk that I have brought you. Why don't you beg some food to eat? What kind of meditation are you? Why are you not eating something? Just like any house, somebody comes, are you conscious? He has not eaten something. So that is Krishna's home. So Krishna, hey, he's this fellow starving. So, and he's not ordinary, he's a very, very dear devotee of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna interferes in this way. When he saw the beauty of that boy, it's very beautiful. Madhavendra Puri became very satisfied. Hearing his sweet words, he forgot all hunger and thirst. Madhavendra Puri said, who are you? Where do you reside? And how do you know that I am fasting? The boy replied, sir, I am a coward boy and reside in this village. In my village, nobody fasts. An interesting thing, what kind of life he is leading, the Madhavendra Puri is leading, that's called Ajagara Vritti. That some sannyasis have that. They don't ask for food. If somebody offers to eat, otherwise they fast. So that was, he was falling, he was happy, chanting, dancing, and now somebody has come to give something. Okay, accept it. Like an Ajagara means python. He just sits. Something comes, he swallows. Otherwise, just sits. Correct? So he was, that's called Ajagara Vritti for a sannyasi. He doesn't swallow anybody. If somebody gives something, he eats, otherwise he fasts. If a person doesn't ask for food, I supply him all. In this village, a person can beg fruit from others and does eat. Some people drink only milk. There are many sannyasis or many people also I've seen, they live on milk. It's practical actually. It has all the nutrients. But if a person doesn't ask for food, I simply supply him all his eatables. The woman who came here to take water saw you, and they supplied me with this milk and sent me to you. So he's saying some lady saw you. Actually, Krishna tells lies sometimes for his devotees. A woman came as water saw you. They supplied with milk and sent me to you. The boy continued, I must go very soon to milk the cows, but I shall return and take back this milk pot from you. So basically, Krishna is there in Vrindavan. All the leaders are going on. But he become aprakata. Just like some people say they go to Nidhivan, we should not go in the night, all that. No need of all these dramas. You cannot see Krishna's pastime. We are not ready now. Or we could not know magics. Only magic is your pure devotion. Krishna will become revealed, otherwise no. Saying that the boy left the place, and indeed he suddenly could not be seen no more, and Madhavendra Puri's heart was filled with wonder. After drinking the milk, Madhavendra Puri washed the pot and put it aside. He looked toward the path, but the boy never returned. Madhavendra Puri could not sleep. He sat and chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and at the end of the night he dozed a little, and his external activities stopped. In a dream, Madhavendra Puri saw the very same boy. So he took, just like we ate yesterday night, big feast, and then you are almost unconscious. We have a deep sleep. Anytime you eat, so he's fasting, and then he gets a pot of milk, he drinks, and he has a small nap. In a dream, Madhavendra Puri saw the very same boy. The boy came before him and holding his hand took him to a bush in the jungle. This is happening in the dream. The boy showed Madhavendra Puri the bush and said, I reside in this bush, and because of this I suffer very much cold, rain, showers, winds and scorching heat. I am suffering, my dear devotee. But deity is alive. Please know from this pastime. Deity is alive. I suffer cold, rain, showers. Please bring the people of the village and get them to take me out of this bush. Then have them situate me nicely on the top of the hill. So let them pick me up and get the people and put me on the top of the hill. Please construct a temple order on the top of that hill, the boy continued, and install me in that temple. After this, wash me with the large quantities of cold water, so much heat, so that the body may be cleansed. For many days I have been observing you. Krishna is saying. Krishna is observing everybody, but not us. We are nobody to be noticed. And I have been wondering, when will Madhavendra Puri come and here to serve me? So when you will come to serve me? So Madhavendra Puri belongs to the spiritual world. I have accepted your service due to your extended love for me. I have accepted your service due to your extensive love for me. Thus I shall appear, and by my audience, all fallen souls will be delivered. My name is Gopal, and I am the lifter of Govardhana hill. I was installed by Vajra, and here I am the authority. Vajra is Krishna's grandson's son. Krishna, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vajra. When Yudhishthira Maharaj left the throne to Parikshit Maharaj, he made Vajra the king of Mathura. Yudhishthira was the emperor of the world. He could install king anywhere. So in Mathura, he installed Vajra, who was Krishna's first son, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vajra, 3 generations. Now, Vajra was a great devotee, expected, and the people requested him that we cannot live in separation from Krishna. Can you install some temples of Krishna? So he did that, and all the important teachers of Vrindavan were actually installed by Vajra. My name is. When the Muslims attacked, the priest who was serving me hid me in this bush in the jungle. Then he ran away out of fear of the attack. Since the priest went away, I've been staying in this bush. Since the priest went away, so they never came back. I don't know what happened to them. They put me in the bush and they ran away, never came back to protect me, and they ran for their lives. I've been staying in this bush. It is very good that you have come here. Now just remove me with care. After saying this, the boy disappeared. Then Madhavendra Puri woke up and began to consider his dream. Madhavendra Puri began to lament. I saw Lord Krishna directly, but I could not recognize him. Then thus he fell down on the ground in ecstasy of love. My God, Krishna came and I didn't recognize him. Madhavendra Puri cried for some. Her heart is pure. Only in pure heart love for Krishna manifests. When Madhavendra Puri cried for some time, then he fixed his mind on executing the order of Gopala. Thus he became tranquil. After taking his morning bath, Madhavendra Puri entered the temple and assembled all the people. And then he spoke as follows. The proprietor of this village, Govardhandhari, is lying in the bushes. Let us go there and rescue him from that place. The bushes are very dense and we will not be able to enter the jungle. Therefore, take choppers and spades to clear the way. After hearing all this, all the people accompanied Madhavendra Puri with great pleasure, great pleasure. They're all devotees. According to his, even today, Vrindavan people are all devotees of Krishna. According to his direction, they cut down the bushes and cleared a path, entered the jungle. When they saw the deity covered with dirt and grass, they were all struck with wonder and pleasure. After they cleaned the body of the deity, some of them said, the deity is very heavy. No single person can move him. So since the deity was very heavy, some of the stronger men assembled to carry him to the top of the hill. Mandapuri also went there. A big stone was made into throne and the deity was installed upon it. Another big stone was placed behind the deity for support. All the Brahmana priests of the village gathered together with 9 water pots, and the water from the Kunda lake was brought there and filled. When the deity was being installed, 900 pots of water were brought from Govindakund. There were musical sounds of bungles, bugles, and drums, and a singing of women. During the festival at the installation ceremony, some people sang and some danced. All the milk, yogurt, and clarified butter in the village was brought to the festival. Various foods and sweetmeats, as well as other kinds of presentation, are brought there. I'm unable to describe all this. The villagers brought a large quantity of tulsi leaves, flowers, and various kinds of garments. The Sri Madhavendra personally began the Abhisheka, the bathing ceremony. After all the inauspicious things are driven away by chanting of the mantra, the deity's bathing ceremony started. First, the deity was massaged a large quantity of. So people brought what tulsi leaves, flowers, garments for the Lord. Okay? And people brought, you see what all. Okay, so this is the 900 pots of water first brought from Govindakunda, and people were playing different kind of sounds, singing, celebration is going on. Okay, some people sang, some danced, milk, yogurt, clarified butter were brought. Krishna likes especially. Various kind of food, sweetmeats, presentation were brought. He said, I cannot describe all the list. A lot of tulsi leaves, flowers, garments. Then the Abhisheka started. All the inauspicious things were driven away by the chanting of the mantra. The deity bathing ceremony started. First, deity was massaged a large quantity of oil in the Shoda Supchara. This is one of the things. Massage the deity with oil, scented oil. Now you get all the oil that you get is all artificial. The body became very glossy. After the first bathing, further bathings are conducted with the Panchagavya. Then is Panchamrita. Panchagavya all come from the cow. And then Panchamrita. The Mahasnana was performed with the ghee and water, which had been brought in 100 pots. After the Mahasnana was finished, it was again massaged with scented oil. I was talking about scented oil. Very rare you get original scented oil. Mostly it is synthetic. And his body became glossy. Then his last bathing ceremony was performed with scented water kept within the conch shell. After the body of the deity was cleaned, they were dressed very nicely with new garments. Then the sandal pulp, tulsi garland, and other fragrant flower garlands were placed upon the body of the deity. After the bathing ceremony was finished, incense and lamps were burned and all kinds of food offered before the deity. These foods included yogurt, milk, and as many sweetmeats as were received. The deity was first offered many varieties. Chaitanya Charitamrita is the only scripture. Is the only scripture where the details of the meal are offered. At least in the Vedic, I never read in Bhagavatam or in Krishna Bhagavad Gita. So the detail of the feast now. See the feast. Details of many varieties of food, then scented drinking water in new pots, and then water for washing the mouth. Finally, pan and mixed with variety of spices were offered. After the last offering of Tambula and Pan, Bhoga Arati performed. Finally, everyone offered various prayers and the obeisances falling flat before the deity in full surrender. As soon as the people in the village had heard that the deity was going to be installed, they brought their entire stock of rice, dal, and wheat flour. They brought such large quantity of that the entire surface of the top of the hill was filled. When the villagers brought the stock of rice, dal, and flour, the pot of the village brought all kinds of cooking pots. And in the morning, the cooking began. The 10 Brahmanas cooked the food grains and 5 Brahmanas cooked the dry and liquid vegetables. The vegetable preparation are made of various kinds of spinach, roots, fruits collected from the forest. And someone made bada and badi by mashing dal. In this way, the Brahmana prepared all kinds of food. 5 to 7 men prepared huge quantities of chapatis, which were completely covered with ghee, clarified butter, as are all the vegetables, rice, and dal. All the cooked rice was stacked on palasha leaves, which are now new and which are on a new cloth spread over the ground. Around the stack of cooked rice were stacks of chapatis, and all the liquid vegetable preparation are placed in different pots and put around them. Pots of yogurt, milk, buttermilk, shikandi, sweet rice, cream, and solid placed alongside the villages, alongside the vegetables. In this way, the Annakutta ceremony is performed, and Madhavendra Puri Goswami personally offered everything to Gopal. Many water pots were filled with scented water for drinking, and the Lord Sri Gopala, who had been hungry for many days, ate everything offered to him. Although Sri Gopala ate everything, still by the touch of his transparent hand, everything remained as before. Now, this is mystery. When you offer something to the Lord, it remains as it is. So we sometimes feel nothing has happened. Actually, he has eaten everything, but by his potency, it remains as it is. This is called Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam. So when Krishna is so Purna, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. So when Krishna expands as incarnations, Krishna does not reduce. He remains as it is. Infinity minus infinity is infinity. That's mathematical understanding. So Krishna converts the food back as it is, but actually has eaten. Therefore, the food is powerful. Otherwise, why the food is powerful? If Gopala ate everything, remained, it is now mixed with the saliva of Krishna. It is extremely powerful. Jutha of Krishna. But Krishna's jutha is very pure. And Gopala ate everything, secret. But nothing remains a secret to the devotees. Devotees know about it. The wonderful festival installation Sri Gopalji was arranged in one day. Certainly, all is accomplished by the potency of Gopal. And no one but a devotee can understand this in one day. Mystery. How it happens is impossible. We also had that God Purnima festival. So how we fed 2,500 people, you don't know. Anna? Some people came around, some people helped. When Krishna helps you, everything becomes very easy. Madhavendra offered water to the Gopal for washing his mouth. Then he gave him bitter nuts to chew. Then while Aarti performed, all the people chanted, Jai, Jai, all glories to Gopal. Arranging for the Lord rest, Madhavendra brought a new cot and cover over the spread, a new bread spread, and made the bed ready. A temporary temple was constructed by covering the bed all around with a straw mattress. Then there was the bed and straw mattress to cover it. After the Lord was laid down on the bed, Madhavendra Puri gathered all the Brahmanas, prepared the prasad, and said to them, now feed everyone sumptuously, from children to the aged. All the people gathered, sat down to honor the prasadam, and by they took food. All the Brahmanas and their wives were fed first. These are real Brahmanas, not today's birth Brahmanas. When they took prasadam, those who took prasadam included not only the people of Govardhana village, but all those who came from other villages. They also saw the deity of Gopala, they offered prasadam to eat. Seeing the influence of Madhavendra Puri, all the people gathered were struck with wonder. They saw that the Annakutta ceremony, which had been performed before during the time of Sri Krishna, was now taking place again by the mercy of Sri Madhavendra Puri. All the Brahmanas present on the occasion initiated Madhavendra Puri into Vaishnava cult, and Madhavendra Puri engaged them in various different types of service. So they all took Diksha from her. After taking rest, the deity must be awakened at the end of the day, and immediately some food and some water must be offered to him. When advertised throughout the country that Lord Gopal had appeared at the top of Govardhana hill, all the neighboring villages came to see the deity. It was a big find, like Balaji deity is lost and discovered. It's a big event. One village after another pleased to beg Madhavendra Puri to allot them one day to perform Annakutta ceremony. Thus, day after day, the Annakutta ceremony is performed for some time. Our installation at deity also should be like that. All villages should one day offer big feast, hai? We will have devotees to cook, but they should sponsor, hai? And they should all come and enjoy. Madhavendra Puri did not eat anything throughout the day, but at night, after laying deity down to rest, he took a milk preparation. The next morning, the rendering service of the deity began again, and people from one village arrived with all kinds of food grains. The inhabitants of the village brought the deity of Gopala as much food grains, ghee, yogurt, and milk as they had in their village. The next day, almost as before, there was an Annakutta ceremony. All the Brahmanas prepared foods and Gopala accepted them. The ideal place to execute Krishna conscious is Brajabhumi of Vrindavana, where the people are naturally inclined to love Krishna and Krishna is naturally inclined to love them. Throngs of people came from different villages to see the deity of Gopala, and they took Mahaprasadam sumptuously. When they saw the super excellent form of Lord Gopala, all the limitation and happiness disappeared. All the villages in neighboring Brajabhumi, Vrindavana became aware of the appearance of Gopala, and all the people from these villages came to see him. Day after day, all performed the Annukutta ceremony. In this way, not only the neighboring villages, but all of the provinces came to know of Gopala's appearance. The people from all over came bringing varieties of presentation. What is the time now? 8:58. The people of Mathura, were very big capitalists, also brought various presentations offered them before the deity in devotion service. Thus, countless presentation of gold, silver, garments, scented articles, and eatable arrived. Store of Gopala increased daily. One very rich Kshatriya of the royal order constructed a temple, and someone made cooking utensils, someone constructed a boundary walls. Each and every family residing in the land of Brajabhumi contributed one cow. In this way, 1,000 cows became the property of Gopala. Everybody used to have 12 cows. Go and ask your grandfather. Today, nobody has a cow, they only have dogs. Eventually, two Brahmanas, the renounced order, arrived from Bengal. And Madhavendra Puri, who liked them very much, kept them in the Vrindavan and gave them all kind of comfort. These two were the initiate of Madhavendra Puri, and he entrusted them daily service of the Lord. The service was performed continuously, and the worship of the deity became very gorgeous. Thus, Madhavendra Puri was very pleased. Now, I'm only reading the translation. My request you please read the purport. The Lord of Instruction Srila Prabhupada gives there. In this way, the deity worship temple was gorgeously performed for 2 years. Then one day, Madhavendra Puri had another dream, second dream. So Krishna coming in the dream is extraordinary. In this dream, Madhavendra Puri saw Gopala, who said, "My bodily temperature still has not decreased. Please bring some sandalwood from Malaya province, spare the pulp over a body to cool me." You know. So we are also putting little chandan on the deity. Bring sandalwood pulp from Jagannath Puri, kindly go quickly. Since no one else can do it, you must. So another order he has got. After having this dream, Madhavendra Puri Goswami became very glad to be extra love of God. In order to execute the command of the Lord, he started east toward Bengal. Before leaving, Madhavendra Puri made all kind of arrangement for regular deity worship, engaged different people in various duties. Then, taking the order of Gopala, he started from Bengal. When Madhavendra Puri arrived in the house of Advaita Acharya, and Shantipura Acharya became very pleased upon seeing the ecstatic love of God and manifested in Madhavendra Puri. Advaita Acharya begged to be initiated in Madhavendra Puri. After initiating him, Madhavendra Puri started from South India. Going into South India, Madhavendra Puri visited Remuna, where Gopinath is situated. In the south means you have to see the direction he's moving by geography. Upon seeing the beauty of the deity, Madhavendra Puri was overwhelmed. In the corridor of the temple from which people generally viewed the deity, Madhavendra Puri chanted and danced. And he sat down there and asked the Brahmana what kind of food they offered to deity. From the excellence of the arrangement, Madhavendra Puri understood the deduction that the only best food was offered. Madhavendra Puri thought, I shall inquire from the priest what kind of food is offered to the deity. By making arrangement in our kitchen, we can offer similar food to Sri Gopala. That is how the deity worship is done. Not the simply having a temple for collecting crowd. The deity worship should be done in the bhava. Correct? Otherwise, what is the use? The main bhava in the temple is service to the deity. True? If that is done properly, then we can collect crowd. What's the point? Spending 20 crores, but we have no devotion to the deity. We want to serve. When the Brahmana priest was questioned about this matter, he explained in detail what kind of food are offered to the deity of Gopinatha. The Brahmana priest said, in the evening, the deity is offered the sweet rice in 12 earthen pots. Because the taste is as good as nectar, it is called Amrita Keli. Amrita Keli is Amrita. It's too sweet. The sweet rice celebrated throughout the world as Gopinatha Shira. It is not offered anywhere else. So good that whole universe, nowhere so nice sweet rice is there. Madhavendra Puri was talking to Brahmana priest. The sweet rice was actually brought before the deity as an offering. Hearing this, Madhavendra Puri thought as follows: if without my asking little sweet rice is given to me, then I can taste and make a similar preparation offer to my Gopala. थोड़ा उसका taste पता चला ना, मैं भी ऐसे बनाऊं. He's all devoted to the good cooks. Only lazy people don't cook. खाली आलसी लोग खाना नहीं बनाते. और खाना खाली खाना जानते हैं, है ना? बहुत लोगों को खाना बनाना आता है नहीं, खाना आता है ना? So सबको आना चाहिए. Madhavendra Puri, how is this? Why is he speaking? He knows how to make, है ना? Suppose if you are a cook and I give you something, you know what all is there. Little camphor is there, little this is there, little you'll analyze and you will make it similar. So if they can give you little of this, and now a mistake has happened. Why? You are thinking of enjoying bhoga before it is offered to the Lord. Therefore, whenever bhoga is offered, it is covered. Why it is covered? Nobody should see what is in it. The Madhavendra became very ashamed and he desired to taste the sweet rice, and he immediately began to think of Lord Vishnu. Why? See, ashamed, why? Mistake has occurred. Before offering, he had thought of enjoying the bhoga. But Lord did not take an offense. But he, at the Pancharatrika Vidhi, he felt aparadha occurred. Now he will, whenever aparadha occurs, minimum for people do the fast. Immediately began to think of Lord Vishnu. While he was thus thinking of Lord Vishnu, the offering was completed and the arati began. After the arati performed, Madhavendra offered obeisance to Devi and left the temple. He did not eat. Generally, in any temple, after bhoga is offered, the arati after writing prasada was distributed. He did not wait. He was hungry, but he was feeling he has done a sin today. He did not say anything to anyone, just left. Madhavendra avoided begging. He was ajagarvati anyway. He was completely unattached and indifferent to material things. If without his begging, somebody offered him some food, he'll eat. Otherwise, he will fast. The Paramahamsa, like Madhavendra, is always satisfied in loving service to the Lord. Material hunger and thirst cannot impede his activity. When he desired to taste a little sweet rice offered to the deity, he considered that he had committed an offense by desiring to eat what was being offered to the deity. Madhavendra left the temple and sat down in the village marketplace, which was vacant. Sitting there, he began to chant. In the meantime, the temple priest laid the deity down to rest. Now, deity haven't given rest, but the deity is feeling for him. That boy is hungry. Oh, priest! So in the night, finishes the priest went to rest. In the dream, he saw Gopinath deity come. Now, Gopinath deity has come to the dream of that Brahmana. He's also not ordinary. The Lord does not talk to fools. He's also very advanced devotee. The Gopinath deity come to him, spoke as follows. Oh, priest, get up. Open the door of the temple. I have kept one pot of sweet rice for Sannyasi Madhavendra Puri. So he had offered 12 pots. He got only 11. He didn't see count. The pot of sweet rice just behind my cloth curtain. You do not see me because of my tricks. So Krishna hid one spot of sweet rice for. See. A sannyasi named Madhavendra Puri is sitting in the vacant marketplace. He told him where is he also. Because there is nowhere in the night to sit. Marketplace will be closed, means shops are closed. So there is a place to sit down. He's sitting there. Go with the pot of sweet rice from behind me and deliver it to him. Now you see the Pancharatrika Vidhi followed. Awakening from the dream, the priest immediately rose from the bed and thought it wise to take bath. You cannot directly go without taking. He took bath. He then opened the temple door. According to the deity direction, priest found the pot of sweet rice behind the curtain is there, you see always, behind the curtain. He removed the pot. Again, Pancharatrika Vidhi mopped it. Because it is prasada, we have to clean. After the bhoga is offered, the place is clean. Because it is, again, it's prasada. You cannot offer again there. You have to clean it and then offer. Mop the place where it was kept. Then he went out of the temple. Closing the door of the temple, he went to the village with the pot of sweet rice. He called in every stall in search of mother. He's gone to all market and then he's shouting. Okay? Holding the pot of sweet rice, the priest called, where will he whose name is Madhavendra Puri come and take this pot? Gopinath has stolen this pot of sweet rice for you. The priest continued, would the sannyasi whose name is Madhavendra Puri please come and take this pot of sweet rice and enjoy prasad with great happiness? You are the most fortunate person within these 3 words. Hearing the invitation, Madhavendra Puri came out and identified himself. The priest, the delivered the pot of sweet rice and offered obeisance is falling flat before him. Full dandavat. The Lord never did it for me, he did it for you. When the story about the pot of sweet rice explained to him in detail, Madhavendra Puri at once became absorbed in extraordinary love of Krishna. Upon seeing the extraordinary loving symptom manifest in Madhavendra Puri, the priest was struck with wonder. He could understand why Krishna had become so much obliged to him, and he saw that Krishna's action was befitting. The priest offered his obeisance to Madhavendra Puri and returned to the temple. Then in ecstasy, Madhavendra Puri ate the sweet rice offered to him by Krishna. After this, Madhavendra Puri washed the pot and broke it into pieces. He then bound all the pieces in his outer cloth and kept them nicely. Each day, Madhavendra Puri would eat one piece of earthen pot. And after eating it, he would immediately be overwhelmed with ecstasy. These are wonderful stories. Having broken the pot and bound the pieces in his cloth, Madhavendra Puri began to think, the Lord has given me pot of sweet rice. And when the people hear of this tomorrow morning, they will be great crowds. Now, Madhavendra Puri, as a great devotee, does not want a chair with him. Madhavendra Puri. Thinking this, Madhavendra Puri offered his obeisances to Gopinath on the spot and left Ramuna before morning. Walking and walking, Madhavendra Puri reached Jagannath Puri, which is also known as Nilachala. There he saw Lord Jagannatha and was overwhelmed with loving ecstasy. When Madhavendra Puri was overwhelmed with ecstasy or love of Godhead, he sometimes stood up, sometimes fell to the ground. Sometimes he laughed, danced, and sang. In this way, he enjoyed the trance of bliss by seeing the Jagannatha deity. When Madhavendra Puri came to Jagannath, he understood that he knew the crowd will come now. The priest is not going to be silent. He's going to tell everybody, you know, aisa hua ek aadmi aaya tha. Pura Ramuna lakhon log aayega. So he ran away. So the people asked the priest where he was sitting. He was sitting there. They made a big khai there. Everybody took one mud on their head. Okay, anyway, really great. Walking and walking, Madhavendra Puri reached Jagannath Puri and he had ecstatic. Okay. When Madhavendra Puri came to Jagannath Puri, people were aware of his transcendental reputation. Therefore, a crowd of people came and offered him all sorts of respect and devotion. This is Vedic India, not today's India. Correct? Today, nobody is bothered. Even though one may not like it, reputation is ordered by providence come to him. Indeed, one transcendent reputation is known throughout the entire world. Being afraid of his reputation, Pratishtha, Madhavendra Puri fled from Ramuna. But the reputation brought by love of Godhead is so sublime. It goes along with the devotees as if following him. Madhavendra Puri wanted to leave Jagannath Puri because people are honoring him as a great devotee. However, this threatened to hinder his collecting sandalwood for Gopal deity. Shri Madhavendra Puri told all the servants of Lord Jagannatha and all the great devotees that there the story of appearance of Shri Gopal. So he went to Jagannath Puri and told all the Gopal deities appeared and I want Chandan. When all devotees Jagannath Puri heard the Gopal deity wanted sandalwood with great pleasure, they endeavored to collect it. Those who acquired government officers met with them and begged for camphor and sandalwood which they collected. One Brahmana and one servant are given to Madhavendra Puri just to carry the sandalwood. He was also given necessary traveling expenses. To get past the tall collectors along the Madhavendra Puri was supplied with all necessary release papers from government officers. The papers are placed in his hand. In this way, Madhavendra Puri started Vrindavan with burden of sandalwood, and after some days, he reached the village of Ramuna and the Gopinath temple there. So again, he came back to the same temple. When Madhavendra Puri reached the temple of Gopinath, he offered a respectful obeisance many times in the lotus feet of the Lord. In ecstasy of love, he began to dance and sing without cessation. Prabhupada said nothing should be artificial. Naturally is doing. When the priest of the Gopinath of Madhavendra Puri again, he offered all respect to him and giving him the sweet rice prasada made him eat. पहले वे खिला दो इसको. So again, मेरे को रात को जाना पड़ेगा. But he took rest. And in the night, in the temple, toward the end of the night, he had another dream. Third dream now. Third dream. Madhavendra Puri dreamt that Gopal has come before him and said, "Oh, Madhavendra Puri, I have already received all sandalwood and camphor. Now just grind all the sandalwood together with the camphor and the same spear in the body of Gopinath deity until it is finished. There is no difference between my body and Gopinath's body. They are one and the same. Therefore, if you smear the sandal pearl in the body of Gopinatha, will naturally also smear it on my body, that the temperature of my body will reduce." Actually, Gopala felt too much trouble I gave him. Now there itself, let him finish. So much luggage is carrying, poor fellow. Let it be done there only. You should not hesitate to act according to my order. Believing in me, just do what is needed. After giving this instruction, Gopala disappeared. As Madhavendra Puri awoke, he immediately called for the servants of Gopinatha and they came before him. Madhavendra Puri said, "Smear the body of Gopinatha with this camphor and sandalwood. I have brought for Gopala in Vrindavan. I do this regularly every day. If the sandalwood pulp is smeared on the body of Gopinatha, then Gopala will be cooled. After all, Supreme Personality Godhead is completely independent. His order is all powerful. The servants of Gopinatha became very pleased to hear that in the summer all the sandal pearl will be used to anoint the body of Gopinatha. Madhavendra Puri said these two assistants should regularly grind sandalwood, and we should also get 2 other people to help. I shall pay for their salaries. So he had been received some money, said that this can be used and make camphor and spread. In this way, Gopinathji was supplied ground sandal pearl daily. Servants of Gopinath are very pleased with this. In this way, the sandal pearl was smeared over the body of Gopinath until the whole stock was finished. Madhavendra Puri stayed there until that time. At the end of the summer, Madhavendra Puri returned to Jagannath Puri, where he remained with great pleasure during the whole period of Chaturmasa. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally prayed the nectar question Madhavendra Puri while he related to this devotee. He personally relished this. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Nityananda Prabhu to judge where there is anyone within the world as fortunate as Madhavendra Puri, whether there is anybody as fortunate as Madhavendra Puri in the universe. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Madhavendra Puri was so fortunate that Krishna personally appeared before him on the plea of delivering milk. 3 times the Lord gave orders to Madhavendra Puri in dream. Being obliged of the loving gifts of Madhavendra Puri, Lord Krishna appeared as Gopal deity and accepting his service, he liberated the whole world. This deity is today of worship where? This Gopal deity. Where it is? Rajasthan. This deity is still worshipped. On account of Madhavendra Puri, Lord Gopinatha stole the pot of sweet rice. Thus he became famous as Shira Chora, the thief who stole the sweet rice. Madhavendra Puri smeared the sandal pearl over the body of Gopinatha, and this way he was overpowered in the love of God. In the province of India governed by Muslims, there was so much inconvenience traveling with sandal camphor. Because the Madhavendra Puri might have got into trouble, this became known to Gopal deity. Oh, I caused him a lot of trouble. Lord is very merciful and attached to his devotees. So when Gopinath covered a sandal pearl, Madhavendra Puri's labor became successful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed the standard of Madhavendra Puri intense love before Nityananda Prabhu for judgment. All his loving activities are uncommon. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, indeed, one is struck with wonder to hear of his activity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, Sri Madhavendra Puri used to remain alone, was completely renounced and always silent. He was very silent. He was uninterested in anything material and a fear of talking about mundane things. He always lived without a companion. After receiving the transient order of Gopala, this great personality traveled 1,000 miles just to collect sandalwood by begging. Although Madhavendra Puri was hungry, he would not beg food to eat. Thus, the renounced person carried a load of sandalwood for the sake of Sri Gopala. Without considering his personal comfort, Madhavendra Puri carried 1 mound, 82 pounds of sandalwood and 20 tolas, 8 ounces of camphor to smear on the body of Gopala. This transient pleasure was sufficient for him. Since there was a restriction against taking sandalwood out of Odisha province, the tall official confiscated the stock. Madhavendra Puri showed them the release papers given by the government and consequently escaped difficulty. Madhavendra Puri was not at all anxious during the long journey to Vrindavan through the province. The government of Muslims are filled with unlimited number of watchmen. Although Madhavendra Puri did not have a farthing with him, he was not afraid to pass by the tall office. The only enjoyment was in carrying the load of sandalwood to Vrindavana or Gopala. The natural result of intense love of God and the devotee does not consider personal inconvenience or impediment. In all circumstances, he wants to serve the Supreme Personality Godhead. Sri Gopala wanted to show how intensely Madhavendra Puri loved Krishna. Therefore, he asked him to go to Nilachala to fetch sandalwood camphor. With great trouble and after much labor, Madhavendra Puri brought the load of sandalwood to Ramuna. However, he was still very pleased. He discounted all the difficulties. Just the intense love of Madhavendra Puri, Gopala, the Supreme Personality God, ordered to bring sandalwood from Nilachala. And when Madhavendra Puri passed his examination, the Lord became very merciful to him. Such behavior exhibited in loving service towards the devotee and the devoted lovable of Sri Krishna is transcendental. It is not possible for a common man to understand. Common man do not even have the capacity. After saying this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read the famous verse of Madhavendra Puri. In that verse, it's just like a moon, it has spread illumination all over the world. Continue rubbing the increase the aroma of Malaya sandalwood. Similarly, considering this word increase the understanding of its importance. As a Kaustav Muni is considered the most precious and valuable stone, this verse is similarly considered poems dealing with the mellows of devotion service. Actually, this was spoken by Shri Radharani herself. By her mercy, it was manifested in the words of Madhavendra Puri. Only Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had tasted the poetry of the word. No fourth man is capable of understanding it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Madhavendra Puri, and Radharani. Only three people can tasted Mahabhava. That is the love of Krishna, the intense stage is Mahabhava. Or Madhavendra Puri is the only jiva to experience it. Madhavendra Puri recited this verse again and again, the end of his material existence. Uttering this verse, he attained the ultimate goal of life. Now please hear this verse very carefully. O my Lord, O merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, where I shall see you again. Because of my not seeing, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now? This is very beautiful. Actually, Radharani spoke it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows the meaning. See, Ai Deena Dayadara Nath He, Mathura Nath Kadava Lokshaye, Hridayam Tvat Alok Kataram, Daita Bhramyati Kim Karomi Aham. Yaad kar lo. It's intense love. When Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited the verse, he immediately fell to the ground unconscious. He was overwhelmed and had no control over himself. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell to the ground, ecstatic love, Chaitanya Prabhu quickly took him on his lap. Crying, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again got up again, exhibiting ecstatic symptoms. The Lord began to run here and there, making resounding noises. Sometimes he laughed, sometimes he cried, sometimes he danced and sang. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not recite the whole verse. He simply said, Ai Deena, Ai Deena, repeatedly. Because he could not speak and profuse tears were in his eyes. Trembling, perspiring, jubilant tears, shock, fading of the body luster, disappointment, morose and loss of these are all symptoms and pure love of God. Pride, joy, humility, all visible in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. This verse uncovered the door ecstatic love and then it was exhibited all servants of Gopinatha saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance in ecstasy. When many people crowded around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he regained his externalness. In the meantime, the offering to the deity has been finished. Resounding arti performance. When the deities are laid down to rest, the priest came out of the temple and offered 12 pots sweet rice to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When all the pots of sweet rice remnant left by Gopinatha were placed before Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, became very pleased. In order to feed the devotees, accepted 5 of them, not that we eat everything, that others also eat. The 7 remaining pots are pushed towards and delivered back to the priest. The 5 pots sweet rice, the Lord has accepted or distributed among 5 devotees, and they ate the prasadam. Being identical to the Gopinath deity, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already tasted and eaten the pots of sweet rice. Yet just to manifest devotion, again ate the pot of sweet rice as a devotee. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed the night in the temple, engaged in congregational chanting. In the morning, after seeing the Mangalarti, the performance, he departed. In this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally tasted with his own mouth the transcendent qualities of Gopalji, Gopinatha, and Shri Madhavendra Puri that describe the transcendental glory of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for his devotees in the highest limit of ecstatic love of God. One who hears the narration with faith and devotion attain the transcendental treasure of love of God at the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. This is Shruti Phala. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunatha, always desiring the mercy, I, Krishnadas, and narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in the footsteps. So we read this pastime. I hope all of you enjoy, but we read without purpose, which is not the best way to do it. Please take your time and read with purpose today this pastime, and you can understand more. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I know this is late little for many people. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat
Hare
pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.